you don't want to have a protective hairstyle on and then you end up finding out that it actually ended up doing the opposite of what a protective hairstyle is supposed to do. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Miriam over here and I'm back again with another hair video for you guys. So for today's video, I wanted to talk about something that is very interesting and something that I feel like a lot of us like natural hair girlies or just women in general, we have a misconception about, that when we have braids we don't have to look after our hair. But that is so wrong, because you don't want to have a protective hairstyle on and then you end up finding out that it actually ended up doing the opposite of what a protective hairstyle is supposed to do. So here's a couple of ways that you can look after your hair while you have protective hairstyles or braids. If you guys haven't known already, I've had these braids on for over 2 months now, and I want to say I think this is the longest time I've had braids on, because usually I keep them on for a month and a half to 2 months. Usually I keep it in for, but this time I kept it in for over 2 months. And I just wanted to tell you guys a couple of things that I have been doing to look after my hair while I had it in braids, and to also just keep my braids nice and healthy. I am going to be taking off my braids pretty soon, but here are a couple of things that I have been doing to basically just protect my hair. And I do want to say that at the time of actually editing this video, I had already taken out these braids, and the way that I was so surprised by the way that my hair had grown, the tips and tricks that I talk about in this video actually made a huge difference for my hair growth and my health overall. Even my family noticed such a huge difference in my hair length after following these steps, and I will be posting a video where I kind of just show pictures and proof and before and after doing these steps. So definitely stay tuned for that. So the first thing that I have been doing is making sure that I moisturize my hair a lot. This is something that I feel like I was kind of lacking in the past, but I've been trying to make sure that at least I try to moisturize my hair and put in some oils, because you know your hair needs to be protected and it needs to be moisturized even when you have a protective hairstyle. It's important to make sure that your hair is moisturized, because sometimes when you have braids like this and you don't moisturize your hair enough, you don't put in enough oils, then your hair actually ends up becoming brittle and then it can break off, especially when you've noticed some of those white stuff on your hair. So that's one thing that I've been trying to do consistently since I've gotten these braids on. So these are the oils that I have currently been using, and if you've been watching my shorts then you've probably seen how I use them, but here are the ones that I've currently been using. You don't have to use specifically these ones, but depending on what your hair needs are, you can opt for a different kind of oil, and then you can also add some leave-in conditioners depending on what you want for your hair. So what I like to do when I am oiling my hair is I don't just oil like the roots. I make sure that I also oil my braids, because my hair all goes all the way up to here. So I make sure that I'm not only oiling the scalp, but then I'm also going in and putting oils on my hair all along. That's why I like to make sure that when I'm moisturizing my hair and just adding some oils in my hair, that I'm also putting in some oil at the tips of my hair, because your whole hair needs the oil. Another thing I've been doing is, you've probably heard this in a lot of my videos, but I've been trying to avoid hairstyles that, you know, cause tension to my hair and cause tension to my edges. So instead of doing a lot of ponytails and tight hairstyles, I've just been opting for just keeping my hair like this when I go out and stuff like that, so that way I'm not really putting a lot of tension on my hair, especially my edges. I don't really want to put a lot of tension on my edges, so I've been trying to do a little bit less of those kind of hairstyles that put tension on your hair when you have braids or any kind of protective hairstyle. The third thing that I have been doing to look after my hair is I've just been making sure that I protect my hair even when I'm going to sleep. This means that I was always making sure that I put on a cap, like making sure that I put on a bonnet every single night before I go to bed. And before, when I used to have some braids, honestly, I never used to do this that much. But when I've gotten these braids, I've been making sure that every single time I have a bonnet on, and I've been putting that bonnet on every single night before I go to bed. And I feel like this has helped my hair keep the moisture in before I go to bed and also keep my braids nice and fresh. I don't just use any bonnet, by the way. I have a specific bonnet that I have been using, and I'm going to show you guys the bonnet that I use. So this is the bonnet that I have been using. As you can see, it has more than enough space to put my braids in. I feel like when I use this bonnet, I literally go to sleep with the bonnet on and I wake up with the bonnet on. And I find that this is an issue I've had with some bonnets before. I would put them on and then I'd wake up the next morning. It wasn't on my hair anymore, so then that just defeated the purpose of having a bonnet in the first place. For me, I toss and turn a lot when I'm sleeping, I feel like. but whenever I have this bonnet, the bonnet doesn't go anywhere and my braids and hair is protected. So as you guys can see, my braids are super long and they have curly ends, but I noticed that when I use that bonnet, my braids stay in the bonnet the whole night and I wake up with it the next morning on. I will also have this bonnet linked down in the description below. I got it from Amazon. And when it comes to bonnets, I also do want to say it's very important to make sure that you're not just using any kind of fabric for bonnets. Just make sure that you're using a satin bonnet. Whenever you have oils in your hair or just in general, this is more better for your natural hair and your braids. Not only does it protect your hair, but it also protects your edges. If you are going to be using a bonnet, just make sure to use a satin bonnet. I know you've heard it multiple times, but it's very important. Another thing that I have been doing whilst I have my braids on to protect my hair is making sure that I'm looking after my scalp as well. So what I mean by this is that whenever I am done putting on the oils onto my hair and onto my scalp, I make sure that I go in and massage my scalp. So whenever you regularly massage your scalp, it promotes circulation. It also helps the natural oils to absorb really well. So I make sure that I do that whenever I oil my hair. I don't just oil it and leave it. I make sure that I oil it and then I also go in and massage my scalp. It's not only soothing, but it's also good for your hair. So hey, you're getting 2 in 1 whilst you're doing that step. The last and final thing that I have been trying to experiment with this time around when I had my braids is I've been trying to see how I can, you know, keep my hair clean or also help my hair penetrate the oils properly. So I've been using some water. Sometimes I use some water before I go in with the hair oils. People say that it's important to make sure that you're shampooing your braids and shampooing your hair. So that I still need to experiment with and see exactly how that works. But I've been trying to put some water at least in my hair and then before I put in my oils and then do like a light little I do feel like it's important to keep your scalp clean. So that's one of the things that I've been trying to do, and I'm going to continue doing it when I get braids, and I'll give you guys updated on how that is going for me so far. Those are a few tips and tricks that I have been finding helpful to protect my hair and keep my hair nice and healthy throughout the braiding process when I've been having my braids. Otherwise, if you guys have any other tips or any things that have been working for you guys whilst you've had braids, feel free to share them in the comment section down below. Otherwise, thanks for watching this video, guys, and I'll catch you guys in my next video.